We've got something in common, too many business ideas. But what we really want is to be able to pick one idea that is profitable and move on. But how do we do this? In this video, I'd like to share with you a simple process that will help you make a conscious choice based on your creative perspective as well as people's perspective. People's perspective? What does that mean? Let me explain by giving you a real-life example of a person whose business idea has done extremely well in today's time. He is a computer scientist, an internet entrepreneur, and the creator of Google search engine. Yes, I'm talking about Larry Page. And Larry Page had this to say about his business idea. He said, our goal is basically to take the largest amount of information and make it accessible and useful. Now let's look at what Larry Page said here. He had the idea of collecting data, of collecting information through technology, right? That was his creative idea. But he also considered people's perspective, which was he wanted to make the information accessible and useful for people so that it can benefit them. So this itself shows that a business idea is basically twofold. One is the creative or the innovative or the inventive aspect of it, which is the creator's unique perspective. And the other is the people's perspective when we consider what problems are we solving for them, when we consider what value can we provide to them, how many people can this idea be useful to. When we consider the people's perspective, we get a profitable business idea. So I'd like to show you this process with an example so that you can see the whole process and then apply it to narrow down your online business idea. Shall we? So take a sheet of paper and make 6 columns on it. On the first column, mark that column as potential business ideas. The second as strengths, the third as values or specific values, the fourth as problem solving, fifth as usefulness, and sixth as chosen business idea. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write potential business ideas. And I've compiled a couple of examples here to demonstrate this process. So let's say that I've got a creative idea, something to do with yoga. I'd like to someday maybe have a yoga class or open a yoga-based store or teach yoga in some proximity. Okay, so that's one idea. The second idea is about gardening. So maybe I could write a book on gardening, or I could, teach a gardening course. The third business idea is of storytelling. Maybe I could write a storytelling book, or I could teach business storytelling. The fourth idea is of cupcakes. So maybe I could open a cupcake store or maybe cater to my local area. Alright, so now we understand that we've got these potential business ideas that just has come up in my head and I've thought about it, I've entertained those thoughts, so I've written them down. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look at each of these business ideas and evaluate it and narrow it down. So the first area that we're going to evaluate is on the basis of strength. Whose strength? The creator's strength, the one who's actually going to start the business. So I'm going to ask myself, which of these ideas do I have experience with and do I enjoy doing? So let's look at it and dissect it. With yoga postures, I do have experience with it because I've been practicing yoga postures for many years now, and I also I love yoga. So this definitely qualifies in the category of strengths. The second idea is of gardening. Well, I love gardening, I love nature, and I love being outside and taking a hike and all of this, but I have no experience with gardening. I have no knowledge about it. So I'm going to let that idea go. The third one is of storytelling. So yes, I do have experience in storytelling because I've been a performing actor for many years, as well as I have taught children storytelling workshops. So I do have that experience, and I love telling stories. So definitely this qualifies in my strengths. The fourth one is of cupcakes. Now again, I love cupcakes and I love eating them and a variety of them, but I do not have the recipe or the experience of cupcakes. So I'm going to let that go. So now with this, you can see how you could narrow down the various creative potential ideas that you have to the ones that are qualified in the sense that you have experience with it, you've developed a skill around it, and you enjoy doing it. Because really, that ensures that you would be able to expand the business. If there is a business around it, you would be having the knowledge and the expertise and the wisdom to expand the idea further into various different products if required. So now we've narrowed down the ideas. From 4 ideas we've got to 2. Now we're going to examine these 2 ideas in terms of specific value. I'm going to look at each of these ideas, and I'm going to ask myself, what value can I offer through yoga? Well, I am very good with flexibility postures in yoga, so that is something that I have developed. So I could maybe, that could be a specific value that I can bring. Okay. What about storytelling? With storytelling, I do have experience with teaching children storytelling workshops, so I could use storytelling for children's development. Okay, so this is a specific value based on the strengths that I have. So now we've narrowed down the business idea from a very broad domain to a more specific value-based domain topic. Alright, now we are going to move on to seeing, are there products that are made that are related to storytelling for kids development? Are there products in the market that are related to yoga postures for flexibility? So I'm going to go online and I am going to check whether there are other related products. Now, it does not matter if the products that I come across are digital products, physical products, or a service-based product. It doesn't matter. What I'm looking at is whether there are other related products that offer this specific value or not. If there are other products that offer the same value, then I know that this value has a demand in the market. Some people are buying these products. So that validates the value that I would like to create a business about. Okay, we've got this. So now we are going to see what problems are these specific values solving. Our value is yoga postures for flexibility, right? What problems are other product makers, creators, business owners solving when they are offering yoga postures for flexibility? And when I looked it up, I saw that other creators were solving problems related to muscle tension. They were solving problems related to hip flexibility. So I can gauge now the problems that this value can solve. With the other example, I can see that there were other products in the market which were helping solve problems for children related to confidence issues. That means there were storybooks that were for helping children gain confidence. So the problem that these storytelling books were solving for children was lack of confidence. So I'm going to write these problems down in my column. So here we are. We've got muscle tension, we've got hip stiffness, we've got lack of self-confidence in children. Now I have a clear understanding of what problems are these values solving for people already. Okay, so now it's all about choosing one problem that I know I can solve well. Which problem can I choose from here which I know that I can solve well, I can bring in my knowledge, I can bring in my experience and help people out? Okay, so for this example, I'm going to choose muscle tension. I am going to pick the idea of taking yoga postures for flexibility and solving the problem of muscle tension. But now we're going to go even deeper and look at who are the people who need relief from muscle tension and are willing to do yoga postures for flexibility. So when I went online, I saw that there were moms, then there were recovering athletes and corporate professionals who were all having muscle tension related issues, and they were already buying related products that offered yoga postures for flexibility. Great! Now I know that there are a large number of people, different types of people who need this value, who need flexibility through doing yoga postures and who want their problem, that is the muscle tension that they have in their body, to be solved. This confirms to me that there are a large group of people and different types of people who require this value that I have to offer. So my choice, after considering, after critically examining each and every creative idea that I had, is going to be flexibility yoga postures for recovering athletes. So this is going to be my first idea for business, where I could maybe create a digital product, maybe offer online classes, maybe offer one-on-one sessions. So I could do many things with it. This idea could take many different forms. Ultimately, a business idea needs to be useful to people. That will determine its viability, its scalability, and its profitability. That means whether this business can sustain or not, whether it can grow into various different products, whether it can reach a larger group of people, maybe different types of people in the future, and it will determine its profitability. There, you've got this. Now you've got a process that you can use to narrow down to a profitable business idea from the wealth of creative ideas that you have. Now, one small little note, a crucial note, a side note that I'd like to share with you, because, when we are starting out, we need to know this. Whichever profitable idea you arrive at, think big with it, but start small. Test your ideas. Because, we want to ensure that we avoid spending a lot of time, energy, money in the wrong idea. We want to use our resources in a fruitful way, in a way that helps us create a business that we want. So think big, but always start small, test it out, and then grow from there. This is all I have for you in this video. My name is Deepti. Thank you for joining me today.